Ladies, gentlemen, Transmog nerds, welcome! I am your host Vixie, and today we're going to be taking a look at the long-awaited Legion transmogrification system, now live with the 7.0 pre-patch. So what's new? Well, if you're anything like me, you've been struggling with bag, bank, and void storage space for the last several expansions. Gone are those dark days. The all-new system automatically adds all collected BOP and equipped items usable by your spec and catalogs them under the Collections tab for later use. So what do I mean by usable by your spec? Or class, I should say. Well, I mean that the armor type needs to be your primary armor type. If you're a warrior like myself, then you can't just run around collecting or equipping cloth items or leather items or mail items and have them unlock for all of your classes. It needs to be your primary armor type. So for warrior, that's going to be plate. For druids or monks, that's going to be leather. And for hunters and shaman, obviously, mail. So that's cool, that's fine. With your bind on equip items, like these few greens that I've got here, I don't need to equip them on myself. I can just mail them through to an alt, have them equip it, and the appearance will be unlocked. Now, speaking of the appearances unlocking, let's take a quick look at the actual system itself. So we've got it loaded here. It is under your Collections tab, available by Shift P or just clicking on the Collections button. And you'll see here that we have an awesome setup, a really slick, nice UI, very easy to go through. Users of the Mogget add-on might be a little familiar. It's kind of like an evolution of the Mogget system, I would say. But if you go through here, you can select a particular slot, so your helm, your shoulders, back, chest, so on and so on, and it will show you any appearance type that you have unlocked. Fantastic. Best thing of all, this is shared across all characters. The only caveat to that is if you've got a class-specific unlock, so a tier item, for example, the tier helms that are for warriors, you won't be able to go ahead and mog those on a death knight. So those particular class-specific appearances are still locked, but if you had a second one of those classes, you could go ahead and use it straight away, assuming that you're at the right level. So what else is new in the system? Our helm, cloak, and shoulder unlocks have now been moved to the transmogrifier for unlocking. That's right, shoulders can now be made invisible. We don't need to see our shoulders all the time. Really a big boon for the RP community, as well as some of those races which have, dare I say, ridiculous sized shoulders. Orcs. Yeah, really helpful if that's your thing. If you want to roll for shoulders, roll around with your shoulders hidden, it's going to be fantastic, right? Awesome. What else have we got that's new? Weapon, illusion, and enchants can be now done without the use of a garrison setup or a special garrison setup. That's right. We have been able to transmog our weapon enchants for a little while now. If you had an enchanter's hut along with an assigned worker to that hut in your garrison, those days are gone. Thank God. You can now assign a weapon enchant of your choosing through the transmogrify system. Now, how are they collected? Well, it's pretty cool as well. You can collect these enchants by defeating various world bosses, by defeating various raid bosses. There are quests out there. Some of the appearances are gathered just by enchanters creating them and so on. Pretty cool, right? So if we have a look in our actual collections tab here, we go to our weapon enchants up here. You can see all the different types available. I haven't collected all of these, obviously, but there's some pretty cool ones. There's even some new ones that weren't previously available. So very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff. Last but not least, what else is new in the system? We now have the ability to transmogrify our shirts as well as tabards. Awesome, right? We don't need to keep these things in our bank, taking up more space. You can just go ahead and free up all that bank space. Look how much space I've got now. Still kept a few things just for sentimental reasons, but it feels good. It feels so, so good. What else is new? Well, in the new UI, we have the ability to create favorite sets. So, say you're switching gear a lot, say you're an RPer or you just are a transmog fiend, you've got certain sets that you want for certain times of the day, you can do that. You can save your sets, no more hunting around through endless tabs of item slots, trying to find the right look and trying to remember which shirt or which braces go with what and gloves. You don't need to do that anymore. Once you've found a set that you like or an appearance that you like, you can create a new outfit. Go speak to your transmogrifier. Under the tab at the top here, you've got the option to create a new outfit. Enter a name, save it, bam, done. You can applying that transmog set is as easy as going back to the transmogrifier, switching over to that set, hitting apply, bam, all done. There is a gold cost, of course, each time that you do this, but what's a gold sync gonna do in WoW? It's been there forever. What else do we have? Well, we can switch the sources in the transmogrifier. So say I only wanted to see things that came from world drops. We can go through, we can do that, we can see which items came from those particular places, or maybe I'm having a little bit of trouble finding something, but I know that it came from a particular quest. We can do that. Fantastic, right? Good stuff. We've got a whole bunch of filters that are applicable through our normal collections tab as well. Oh, well, not a whole bunch. We've got the same sources, I should say, but we do have the option to browse uncollected items as well. So if I tick this right here, you'll see how many pages did I have before? 6 pages of collected. There are 19 pages of shoulder visuals that we can collect if we really want to go to the trouble. And you can just keep going through them. Now, if you scan over one of these, it will also tell you where it drops from, or not exactly where it drops from, but it will tell you in general what it drops from. So these Darkfallen shoulder plates, it tells me that's a boss drop. Whereas the Spoilers of the Fallen War Chief are a boss drop or through a vendor. So it will show you the items that share the appearance as well, which is pretty handy. Quite cool. So if you right click on these, then you will also have some options available. So through the transmogrifier here, you can, I don't know practically why you would want to do this, but you can, for shared item appearances, you can tell it to transmogrify as a particular item. Presumably that might be if maybe there was some particular spell effects or visuals tied to that item. Maybe they would come through that way. Otherwise, I don't really see a lot of point for that, but hey, it's there. You can set an item as a favorite. Awesome, right? So I've added this one to my favorite here, star. That will bump it to the front of the list. So maybe I use this particular item all the time in a lot of sets. I don't want to have to hunt through pages and pages for it. I can add it to my favorites. It will be there all the time at the very start. Pretty cool. So how do we go about getting our new appearances? Well, it's pretty simple. We can either go out and kill a raid boss for old content, like many of us have been doing for a very long time now. For bind on pickup items, if it's something for your particular class, like a piece of plate for a warrior, it's going to automatically add it through if it's a new item. Otherwise, if it's a bind on equip item, it is worth noting that you do have to equip the item before it will create the unlock. So I've got a couple of greens and blues here that are BOE that we can test this on. So this Necropolis Helm of the Bear. If I have to actually equip this item before it will unlock the appearance. Now, I've actually already got that appearance, hence why it hasn't done anything. It will give us a little message down in your general window saying appearance has been unlocked for whichever item. It is important to remember to equip your correct item after doing that, of course. So let's try for these bands of fading light. Let's see if we've got that appearance. We already do. That's cool. Not a problem at all. Now, what happens if I equip a piece of mail or a cloth on a class that can't actually, that's not the primary wearer of those armor types? Well, nothing. It will still, of course, allow you to do it. You're just not going to get any unlock for that particular item. So in the cases where that is happening, or where you are picking up other items, if you have an alt that can wear those that cloth or that mail or that leather or what have you, I highly recommend mailing it through to that character, getting them to equip it, and everything will be peachy. You will unlock the appearance on that character. Happy days. Now, another really super cool thing that I'm pretty pumped up for is the fact that if you've got a legacy item that is no longer obtainable in the game, but you've unlocked it on an old character, maybe it's from an old quest that was removed, or from some sort of achievement that can't be done anymore, like your challenge mode golds for either Mists or Draenor. Well, if you've unlocked that appearance on a different character, you can now use that appearance on any other character, as long as they can actually equip the item. So I've got here my challenge mode gold items, transmog items from Draenor, which are no longer attainable. I could actually jump on any other character that can equip them, and I will have them available in my books. So pretty cool stuff. Really happy about that. I'm sure a bunch of people are super excited and super happy that they can finally share these awesome or no longer obtainable appearances through a variety of their own characters. Fantastic stuff. Super happy about it. So what's the fastest way to collect all of your transmog appearances? Well, if you have a bit of gold, you can always purchase any missing bind and equip items through the auction house. However, when it comes to weapon appearances, there really is no finer choice than farming old content using a higher level warrior. The reason for this is simple. While most classes can equip and therefore unlock only a couple of different weapon types, the warrior has access to all weapon types except for wands. That means that even if you loot a non-traditional warrior weapon, such as a crossbow or staff, the appearance will still be unlocked and usable on all your other classes or alts at your disposal. You'll still require a mage, warlock, or priest to unlock any wand appearances, but overall, your collection times will be sped up immensely. Now, this new system is all well and good for those transmog fiends of us out there, but what about the achievement hunters? Well, don't worry, Blizz got you covered. They've added through a whole bunch of new achievements under the Collections Appearances tab, and as you can see here, they culminate in a title, The Fabulous, which is pretty fabulous if you don't mind me saying so. To get a lot of these achievements, you do need to collect a whole bunch of appearances. The back slot, for example, requires 200 appearances to be collected. Believe me, it doesn't take much time. If you are already a transmog hunter, chances are you're going to have almost all of these done. The only thing I had to do was jump on one of my alts, a tailor, and create about 10 more shirts. You only need about 15 or 20 shirts, I think, so they're not all really big numbers that you need to get. It'll go by in no time flat. All good. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, the new transmog system. What do you think? I'd be eager to hear all of the thoughts that you have on the system, what you like, things that you don't like, things that you were expecting or that you wish that they also did include. Obviously, a lot of the old restrictions are still in place. Cloth can't wear plate, plate can't wear cloth. You have certain weapon restrictions. A two-handed weapon can't go to a one-handed weapon, and legendary restrictions, and all those sorts of things. But by and large, fantastic stuff. I'm really super happy with it. Please, please, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Are there extra things that you would like me to cover? Are there tips that you have that we can share around? All the good stuff. Thanks for listening. Send a like. Have a good one.